To move on to our next inductee, please welcome head coach, men's basketball at the University of British Columbia, Mr. Kevin Hansen.
Just so you know, this is just a prop. Some of you have heard I live with an administrator, and she says preparation is the key to success. So I wanted to say a few words to the inductees of this year's Hall of Fame before Bill Knorr cries once again as his son gets inducted to another Hall of Fame. I would like to acknowledge the CCAA. I think it is absolutely wonderful that I believe it was 3 years ago in talking to Alan Furchuk about you established the Hall of Fame, and I think it's absolutely wonderful that you're recognizing the special people that are part of this organization. And as we all know, the key to a successful organization is the special people that you have involved. And I think I have a soft spot in my heart for this organization. I played a lot of roles within it. And to this day, I still cherish it and still have a lot of friendships within it. And I want to congratulate all the inductees this evening. I wanted to start off with a couple. Griff, unbelievable to watch you play soccer. I wish you had played basketball to make me look as good as you made Mark look. It was amazing to watch you play, to grow as a person. You came down the hallway. You always stopped in the hallway to talk to Dunk and Norm, and to have you inducted into the Hall of Fame this evening is very special. So you're one of those special people, and now you have a place in history with this organization. Giuseppe, Joey Acabellis, one of my all-time faves. I was convener for a while and the basketball coach and served in a couple of capacities. Joe was one of my faves. We'd go to an AGM. It was mandatory that I had to sit beside him because I was a young buck on the block, and I had to make sure he always had cookies and pop to keep him awake during the AGM and to hear his stories. And when people would say things that he disagreed with, he would just give me an elbow or a shot, and it was just assumed that I was supposed to say something to take his side of the battle. But you were one of those special people, Joe, and as someone that coached at Langara and coached against you as an athletic director, I thought you did an unbelievable job with your Capilano program. I know you had a bunch of different roles in different schools as well. But I did look up to you, and you played a big factor in how this organization ran, the BCCAA, and the time and energy you put in was tremendous. So I'm very honored and proud to see you step up here. Obviously, Dunk McCallum. Dunk recruited me as a player to go play at Langara. I was an assistant coach with Dunk for a couple of years. When he was ill for a while, I was acting athletic director. Thank goodness there wasn't many big decisions to be made at that time. Later on, I had the opportunity to coach his son, Jake, and then Jake ended up being assistant coach. So at Langara, there's been a big family of people that have come through the program, and it's a really special program. I called Dunk last night just to congratulate him and wish him well, and it was too bad that he couldn't be here. And he said, congratulations to Teresa. You know, it's so well-deserved. She deserves everything she gets, deserves the job at SFU. She deserves the credit, deserves to get in the Hall of Fame. The only thing she doesn't deserve is putting up with your nonsense. And for those of you that know Dunk, that was Dunk. And of course, the other inductee that I'd like to acknowledge obviously is Teresa. And she is the administrator in our house. The taxes aren't done yet, so I've still got to have a conversation about that. But very proud of her and everything that she has done for this organization. I mean, you can see her speech went longer than the 5 minutes. That wasn't one of the bullet points, but everything that you've done for us and the family and for these organizations. I've never met someone more passionate in my life about being an administrator. You know, we've talked about things, and I just couldn't do what she does. And the friends and friendships that she's got and how highly she speaks of several of you in this room and the friendships that she's had, I think any organization would be very fortunate to have her. So very proud of you, very proud of our daughter to be with us this evening, and your parents. It's quite a family over there, 3 generations of the Hanlon girls. So very proud of you, but congratulations, Teresa. Now, I was told, Sandy told me I only had 2 minutes, but to introduce Randy. So I haven't talked about Randy, so I get another 2 minutes, right? Randy flat out is the winningest basketball player that I've ever known in Canada. Started off with 2 high school championships, of course being the MVP. Came to Langara College, won 2 provincial championships, 2 national championships, of course was MVP in all of those. I'll come back to those games in a moment. Then he went to St. Francis Xavier, where he played with Big Jason, where they won 2 national championships again, of course being MVP. Then he went on to play professionally overseas for 5 years, won a cup championship, a few more championships. After 5 years being over there, we had the opportunity to expand our program as a basketball program at UBC. So we were going to hire the first full-time paid assistant coach in the country. So Randy was that guy that said we had to have. So he jumped at the opportunity to come home. And then he continued to play basketball. He won every single 3-on-3 tournament, 4-on-4 tournament, 5-on-5 tournament, outdoor tournaments, you name it. Randy's name is there, and Randy kept winning MVPs. And people kept saying, why aren't you going and playing professionally? That he just had a passion for basketball, and he wanted to coach, and I really benefited from having Randy on our staff. The first national championship, we were down 10 points against Dawson with 6 minutes left in the game. Randy said, we're just not going to lose this game. We're going to win. Randy just took it over, 4 steals in the last 6 minutes, kept going to the hoop, kept scoring. I looked at the stats, and it was incredible. I looked in the stats last night as I was trying to come up with some key points for Randy, something that I hadn't bragged about before. He shot 79%. For those that aren't basketball players, 79% is a very high number. 79%. I've never seen it before, and I'm going, holy cow, this kid could actually really play. Averaged 29 points a game in the tournament over 3 games in the national championship. It was absolutely amazing. With 2 minutes left in the game, it was tied. I called a timeout, so I said, okay, we're going to run this little thing. We're going to stack it. You guys on this side, you're going to go to there. One guy go, second guy go, and Randy's going to go with his, for those of you who've seen him play, he's going to go right-handed. So Randy was going to go right-handed. So one kid puts his hand up and says, what do I do when I go to that side? It doesn't matter, son. So Randy hit those points, he scored, and of course we ended up down by 10 with 6 left, and we won by 6. First national championship, and of course Randy was MVP. So the next year, Randy said, I don't want it to be this close, so I'm going to take over a little bit early. So we had a tremendous year, and 40 seemed to be the magical number that evening. Randy played 40 minutes. It was our 40th win of the year, and Randy scored 40 points. The only blemish on the score sheet, I looked last night, and the only blemish was that he only hit 14 out of 15 free throws. I forgave him about that one relatively soon. With Randy at Langara, our record was 75-5, only losing twice to a Canadian school. An amazing record. Obviously, we have people in our lives that help us and are big parts of our lives. And Randy is certainly a player that really made me look good as a coach, especially my time at Langara. Randy the person. When Randy and I coached together, we became brothers. It was really interesting, and I loved my time. And he said, Kev, I'm not here to be your yes man. If you want a yes man, I'm not your guy. So I said, I don't want a yes man. I just didn't know he wasn't going to talk. He was going to tell me how to treat my wife. He was going to tell me how to run my family. But a lot of times he had pretty good advice. But he is someone that became very special in my heart. We've spent a lot of time together. He has made me a better coach. Even to this day, he will still watch our games, our UBC games, give me feedback once a week, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and he's not scared to. And we have a great conversation about basketball. He's got an incredible basketball mind, someone that's got the most out of who he was and his athleticism. So proud of Randy, and so proud that he's being inducted into this Hall of Fame. Randy he's a legacy player in the BCCAA and the CCAA and in Canada. Please join me in welcoming Randy as an inductee into the CCAA Hall of Fame.
First, I'd like to thank by congratulating all the other inductees. I'd like to thank the CCAA. I'd like to thank Jake McCallum for nominating me, and of course Kev for his great speech. Between Kevin and Teresa, I think they've used up almost all my time, so I'll make this short. That's okay. I'll take the assist on this one. My 2 years at Langara were fantastic. They did really mean a ton to me. Kevin was a humongous impact in my life. The interesting thing tonight is the amount of people that are here tonight that had a big impact on my life. Jake's dad, Dunk, actually coached my high school coach, coached my college coach, and it wasn't until I met Dunk when I was at UBC, where he came out to some alumni event, and I felt like I knew him because I'd had my high school coach yell at me and say, "Oh, Dunk would have made you run," and I threw a pass off a backboard one time, and Kev told me that Dunk would have kicked me out of the gym, and it was it's really neat to be inducted with Dunk, and of course getting inducted with Teresa is really special. Me and Teresa had 6 years together at UBC, and they were great. To get to know Teresa like I know Kev was fantastic. Anybody that's worked for Kev, you're kind of like you're married to him. I'm with him all the time. I'm with him more than Teresa's with him, so she should get another award. And then the last one I'm going to take a little credit for is Griff down here. So after we won our first national championship at Langara, Kev instituted the rule that the winning team eats first at the athletic banquet. Shocker. So after winning the first year, then the second year, I think Dave got sick and tired of hearing all us basketball guys give him a hard time about eating second or third or whatnot. So it was nice to see their team win the next two national championships. So again, I'd like to thank Kevin and Teresa for everything that they've done. My parents, who have been humongous supporters, and again, the CCAA for this award. It's a great accomplishment, and thank you very much.